Season is officially underway here in the Kalispell Warhawk Dynasty. Welcome everyone to the live stream. My name is MrHurriicane. We are live here on March 17th, 2018 for now the sixth off season of the Kalispell Warhawk Dynasty. How is everyone doing today? Hopefully there wasn't an echo there, but there's a chance there was. But we're good now, as we are getting underway with the newest off season today, and it's always tough to move on from players, but this is going to be especially tough moving on from some of the biggest names of the series and some of the best players that we've seen help this team become what they are now. So welcome everyone. Good to see all of you here. There was a lot of conversation before the stream even began, which is always really fun to see. I'm going to raise the audio just a little bit here on my microphone. Hopefully everything is good to go. If the audio is not good, then let me know. David Guerra sends a super chat. Thank you, David. So this is going to be interesting. How do we replace the likes of Roscoe Sheridan, J.R. Battle, Jared Merritt? Maybe he's not the toughest to replace. He didn't bring that big of an impact compared to where we had hoped. How do we replace... Well, thankfully, I have to scroll for more seniors. How do you replace Lamar Williams? How do you replace Ja'Cory Day, the best returner in all of college football and the most dynamic player to ever wear the blue and green? Kane, where is your green? I got my Hawaii football shirt on. That's green enough, right? No, even better. That's my green. Got super chats rolling in here, and I'll be getting to those as we have little breaks in the action and such. Getting through the intro now while this stream fills up. Thank you all for joining me today. What's going on, Rockman, the boss man? You replace them with good players. That's the hope, Christopher. That's the hope. But it's not always a guarantee. Think about how rare the talents are of Day and Sheridan. We don't come across players like that every year. And the ones that are available, what are the chances they have interest in Kalispell? Certainly, Day and Sheridan are players you'd think would go to bigger programs, but we got very lucky in that first, or the second... Which year was it I recruited them? Like third year or something? Had to have been one of the first 2 years. The series is now long enough to where I'm forgetting like somewhat important information. Anyway, we have a super chat here from Spotlight Productions. How's it going, Kane? You have influenced me to do a dynasty of my own, and I appreciate your content. Every time you upload a new video, keep it up. Thank you for the message. I'm always happy to influence others to get into Dynasty, whether it's for YouTube or not. Dynasty franchise can be very engrossing experiences, and you can sink a lot of time into these projects. They are a lot of fun. So I have gone through to basically recap the whole season. I know that I did everything very quickly, posting both the bowl game and the recap just yesterday, so not much of a break between now and then. Therefore, I'll do a slight recap right now. Just a recap of the recap. And I'll be getting to more of these super chats. I have not forgotten them, but I just want to get kind of us flowing in motion here. And when we're on loading screens or simulating, especially, that's going to be where I get to all those. Alright, so obviously the season didn't end the way that we hoped. Losing to Utah was something that honestly surprised me. I didn't really underestimate their talent, I just underestimated their ability to overwhelm our defense. And you know, we had a pretty good day on offense. Ja'Cory Day had 2 special teams touchdowns, and it wasn't enough. We had no sacks on defense, no takeaways of any kind, and we lose by 3. It was a great game, but it's also one of the most painful losses of the entire season, or the entire series. Fortunately, the last 4 years, we've spent a lot more time winning than losing, doing very well on the conference. We won our second conference championship this year, and we saw different seniors break out and really come together to have the greatest offensive season in team history. J.R. Battle had the big senior campaign, throwing to the likes of Ja'Cory Day, Lamar Williams, and breakout freshman Hayden John Charles. I am never going to catch up to all these super chats. Thank you guys. I will get to the messages here as we continue on. J.R. Battle, 33 touchdowns, 15 picks. Roscoe Sheridan gave us another 1,400 rushing yards season, or actually his only one. That's his career high. Very good career for Roscoe Sheridan. Who's going to be the one to top 45-60? Will that ever be topped in this series? That's a legitimate question. How about in the receiving game? When's the next player going to have over 10 receiving touchdowns? Lamar Williams gave us that big play element, and he earned a full-time status toward the middle of this year, and he was one of the biggest surprises of this entire season. Ja'Cory Day also had a great career at Kalispell. I wish we could have gotten him some bigger numbers, but it's still pretty good production for a slot receiver. Should have handed the ball off to him a little bit more, ran some more Wildcat. That could have been a big part of his game. Hayden John Charles, he was a freshman All-American, played really well this year. And then defensively, pretty inconsistent, but there was good talent out there. It's just we didn't always have everything working for us. James Hampton, 3 interceptions, 8 sacks for Graham, 8 sacks for McCormick. But I am about ready now to get on with the off season and get us headed into season 7. It's been a long series already, hasn't it? All right, so I'm going to do some simming now, and I'm going to get to some of these super chats. Oh yeah, UMBC. I caught that very late last night. I've been waiting for a 16 to beat a 1 for a long time, like everybody else has. Really, I'm not into college basketball a ton, but I love March Madness and how exciting it gets. And I'm always cheering for upsets. I do that regardless of what the sport is. If someone isn't supposed to win, I want them to defy that. And they had one of the biggest upsets. Here's my question to you. Is that bigger than Appalachian State beating Michigan like 11 years ago? Super chat from Zach Michael. How is it going? And are you going to do MLB 18? It's going well, Zach. And yes, I'll be doing a lot of MLB 18. I had a really good time getting into baseball heavier this year, and that's only going to increase here in 2018. Skitter sends a super chat. Do you like Teddy Bridgewater or drafting running backs more? Oh man, those are two of my favorite things in all of football. I'm not sure if I'm able to pick between the two, but if you force me to, I'd say Teddy, because I really think Teddy Bridgewater can be a franchise quarterback, and he could very well become that with the Jets. Although they made a very aggressive move today, trading away 2 second-round picks for this year and 1 next year to move up from 6 to 3. So that's a steep price to move up just a handful of spots so they can go and have a shot at a quarterback. What's interesting, though, is that they did that, but they might only have the 3rd choice. So I have the question of, should they get up to 2? Should they try to go up even further? And can they? Because that would give them a lot of, that would take away so many more picks. I think that, okay, the chat is saying that yes, it's a bigger deal for UMBC to beat Virginia than Appalachian State to beat Michigan. I can't remember how good Michigan ended up being that year. They were ranked really highly. Wasn't it like number 7 when Appalachian State beat them? And the Mountaineers, they probably were fighting for that D2 championship for a number of years. What is it, D2 or Division 1 FCS? I'm not even sure what they classified it as. Let me do a skill tree upgrade here for Leon Daniels. But yeah, I love, we get a handful of moments every year that are just very unique in sports, and that was surely one of them. I wish I had been able to watch more of the second half. I watched a lot of the highlights, and they were hitting some key threes to keep the score, from getting to single digits again. What do I want to do here? I might as well do insta commit. Not a whole lot I can do in the off season with these upgrades. David Guerra just sent a super chat. I have upgraded the coordinators in Leon Daniels. All the upgrades are taken. App State was super good that year. Yeah, I remember they had some really good years. That was when our Monty Edwards was on the team. D1 AA. All right. All the classifications of sports in college are very confusing. And a super chat here from Whips and Chains. Glad I could make this after all. Nothing like a KC off season on a Saturday afternoon. Green beer can wait until after. Enjoy it, Whips and Chains. I hope we have a good show today. We have now made it past all the bowl games, it looks like. End of the season. Okay. That's where we are. I guess we have to simulate even more. So, I have a super chat here from Schuler, France. I hope I'm saying that correctly. If not, I'm sorry. What do you think of the Bears' free agency moves? Very aggressive. I love them getting Allen Robinson. Makes a ton of sense to do that. I think the Trey Burton, that's your classic, you know, paying for future production aggressively, even though the player hasn't shown a ton in their career. I've seen it work out many times. The Vikings have made a lot of deals like that. Giving like Everson Griffin the big contract a number of years ago was a question mark by many, and he certainly exceeded the expectations of that deal. He's now really underpaid. Anyway, there's what's happened so far in the series. It was tough to start, going 2-10 and 3-9, but we built a foundation that's been pretty stable for 4 seasons. Now, we have one of our biggest turnovers in terms of losing key players. We've lost a lot of players in the past, but we just lost our ability to put up points the way we did. That's our quarterback gone. That's our 4,500-yard running back. That's Ja'Cory Day, Lamar Williams. So I think this is our biggest offseason challenge yet. Harold Kaufman, did you hear a 16 beat a 1? We just talked about that. Thank you for the super chat. Jordan Perry, hey Kane, love the content. Can you pronounce my name? Fredricus. Let me just make sure everything is good to go here. All right, Alabama's looking for a new head coach. They might have some interest in Leon Daniels. Nope, I'm not looking to do that. Unexpected jobs, filled positions. I am very happy with my contract here with the Kalispell Warhawks, so we're not going anywhere. By the way, if I made some sort of weird mistake here, I have a backup file that I just made after this, so I'm not, you know what? I need to, this might happen a couple times throughout the stream. It's not a big deal. But I'm having some issues lately with my PVR, my HD PVR, which is the device I use to capture PS3 gameplay. It's been cutting out on me, and it's done it a couple times in game, not during any critical moments, but I'm starting to think it's dying on me. But it's made a lot of content for me, so I guess I can't be too angry. We'll be back though. It should be on right now. Yeah. So don't worry. We're fine. But that will likely happen a couple more times. It usually happens when I like leave it still for like 10 minutes if I like leave the room and come back. That time it did it when I was actually trying to do stuff, which is interesting. So, Leon Daniels actually has an offer. That's hilarious. To go to Alabama. We are staying with our current contract. Go figure it out. Skip to end of coach carousel. I almost never even stay in this menu. show us all the school records. I wish I could, but because I had to, basically when you import a team through Team Builder, you take over for somebody else's team. So you have like their rivals and their history. So it's not complete, sadly. Unless I were to shatter all their records, which I'm trying to do. But I haven't done many of them yet. Alright, let's advance past the coaching carousel. And players leaving. This is always like the slightly stressful part of the offseason, because there's a chance that we lose some freshmen that we were counting on having. It's happened in the past with Freddie Kimbrough. In my Minnesota dynasty, it happened with Aaron Higdon. Whether or not they were redshirted, there's a chance that certain freshmen who weren't used could leave. Head coach Leon Daniels, is he still leveling up? Oh yeah, let's do a couple more super chats here. From Light Blue Rocker, I think so. Gotta say, I think it's time for Pac-12 if we have another good season. Would help so much with landing recruits. Also, Kalispell gotta play Minnesota. I'm not sure yet when the right time is going to be for us to move to a new conference. I don't think it's in the next 2 years. I'm always thinking of it as like being a year or two out. We're not there yet. Especially seeing us not play that well against Utah. And they're a 6-6 team. I don't think we're there yet. I did the David Guerrero one. Isaac Cunningham. Do you think the Jets might be going for Barkley? I could not see that. That's a lot of picks to go up for a running back, and that's not what you do in this day and age. That'd be akin to the Herschel Walker trade the Vikings made many years ago that started the Cowboys dynasty. Let's go into the Mountain West here and check out what's happening. Air Force, they have a brand new defensive coordinator. How about us? Kalispell. Oh, man. We have new coordinators. So, OC and DC have changed. Terry Malone for Paul Graham. We've lost a lot of coordinators in this series, and it's always a tough transition because we go from coaches who give us a nice boost to all of a sudden basically starting over unless they already have some level. We did get a good offensive coordinator one time, the coach who went off to UCLA. He was great for quarterbacks, but now we have potentially brand new coordinators that have never coached before. So Paul Graham, 3-year contract. Where can I find their information? I don't think it's here. But they both left for a new job. I'm going to find out where they went. I will locate them. That'd be interesting if they were in our conference still. I'm always a fan of storylines for any reason. But I'm not seeing them as any new head coaches. There's a chance they're just coordinators elsewhere too. So, let's go new coach. And it sorts by first initial. So we have to go find T and M. So I'm probably better off starting at the bottom of the alphabet. So Terry Malone, head coach at Boston College. And then you'd think Mark Owens would get the nicer job, right? After what he did to our offense. So let's get to the O's. Wait, I think I passed the O's. Wait, no, the M. Mark Owens. Head coach at Louisville. We played them this year. They fired Bobby Petrino, and now they got Mark Owens. Not sure we'd play Louisville again. I have some plans this year for non-conference games. Your new DC was Air Force's DC? Oh yeah, I need to know where they came from. Excellent. And then I have to figure out where Steve Russ came from. And I've never actually done this sorting like this. This is so much faster. Oops. He was... Okay, Russ is the defensive coordinator. I need to swap around my notes here. Paul Graham... Did I miss it? Well, I have to find out. Yes, Starks. There's a lot to keep track of here as we go on. Paul Graham. Graham might not have even been a coach in the past. He might just be a new player they threw into the pool. A new coach. Okay, so let's check on our new coordinators then. Do they have any kind of a history? We have an offensive coordinator who is, yeah, Graham is fresh. And I don't like that, having to start over on offense like that. Let's go +1 carrying then. But our defensive coordinator does have some history. He has very good power and finesse moves, very good block shedding, good injury boost here. He's going to improve our zone coverage, our man coverage, and our catching. So I forget what we had for a defensive coordinator before. I could go check how good our defensive coordinator was, but I think Russ is way better. I don't think we had a level 15 defensive coach. This is awesome. So that's great for our defense, but not good for the offense. Favorite running back: Bo Jackson, Emmitt Smith, Barry Sanders, LaDainian Tomlinson. Also, what are you taking notes on? What specifics of the game? Anything that's important information that I have to recall for the commentary. So knowing where these coaches came from, any little pieces of information. I got notebooks. I got like 30 notebooks in here just scattered with notes throughout the years. I got really old stuff. Maybe not 30, closer to probably 10, 15. So those are the coaching changes. I want to go find out some of the other coaches. I want to see what Jonathan Starks is doing. I think that'd be under job security. Do you remember where Starks went, by the way? Because I forget. I want to see the Pac-12 quick. Where's UCLA? Can I not see their assistants? Starks, yeah, he went to Oklahoma. That's correct. Where do I find coach info? I need to find out. I just want to see how they're doing. Well, they're at the top here. A+ prestige. They have one of the best head coaches in Bob Stoops. Okay, I think we've kind of covered that, though. Let me get to one more super chat. Hungry Gamer sends a super chat. Kane, you can only choose one. Andy McKenzie, JR Battle, Eric Hancock, Andrew Johnson. I'll go Andy McKenzie, most talented of the bunch. Andrew Johnson, though, the only national championship winner there. Another one from Matthew Wasserman. Do you think Blunt will make the Lions more of a contender? I don't think he moves the needle that far for them, but he will improve the ground game. He will help them down in the red zone, and I think that it'll be a better late than never addition for the Lions, because they should have done this years ago. Right trigger for assistant coaches. That's why you guys are here. Offensive coordinator. Okay, so Starks isn't there anymore. Where is Johnny Starks? Is he out? Wait, I'm on offense. I'm not seeing Starks here either. Huh. Those are the only jobs. Could he have become a head coach somewhere? Oh, how about that? Jonathan Starks is the head coach at Vanderbilt. He was there for a whole year and I never even realized it. That's incredible. Good for Jonathan. That's pretty awesome. What was their record last year? 5-7? One and 4 against the top 25. Of course, you're in the SEC. It's not going to be easy. Well then. Evan Newton. There's the other one we have to check. I know this is kind of taking a while, but this is kind of fun stuff for me. We'll see if Evan is still an offensive coordinator. But there's a lot of turnover with coaches in this game. Maybe he's a head coach too. Could they both be head coaches by now? Not seeing them. So is he just like out of the game then? No Evan Newton. Okay then. Why don't we talk about players leaving then? We're going to be looking at perhaps some freshmen transferring. 3 of them. 2 of them. Shane Monson wants to go to Wyoming and Clay Hutchinson wants to go to Boise State. Meanwhile, Jared Merritt is projected to be a 6th round draft pick. And no one else could get drafted? Not J.R. Battle? Someone said if he's not 200 pounds, he won't get drafted. How about Roscoe Sheridan? The overall is great. The size, everything. So we might get a draft pick, but it might be Jared Merritt. Meanwhile, I gotta get these guys to stick around. Very low chance. Clay Hutchinson. Oh man, this is tough. Yep, I think they're both gonna be gone. Luckily, we got a lot of linebackers last year. I can't promise a lot to these guys because they wouldn't play. I wouldn't be able to fulfill those promises. Monson. Wow. To Wyoming. And Clay Hutchinson to Boise State. Hutchinson was the one that I was excited for too. Look at his impact block and his strength. I thought he had the potential a couple years down the road to be one of the best guards. Oh man, that was one of our most important offensive line depth players. All right then, maybe we get some transfers this year ourselves. We've never had a transfer in this series. There are injuries in this game, but they're very infrequent and there is no slider. You can just turn them on or off. All right, transfer requests. This year, Kalispell continues to wait for a potential transfer. I'm not even sure if I had an open roster spot, actually. I probably do now, though, but still nothing. And then the draft results. Kalispell has their first ever drafted player, Jared Merritt. Goes in the 6th round. That is our only drafted player in team history. I can't believe that Battle and Sheridan weren't. And I know Lamar Williams was a low-rated player, and so was Ja'Cory Day. In real life, they would have been drafted. And I'm telling you, I think Lamar Williams would have been like a 2nd-round pick. He would have been like the Brian Quick. Smaller school, height, weight, speed. He would have been drafted for sure. Ja'Cory Day, he would have been a gadget player, probably like 3rd, 4th round. That's disappointing, though. I wish the logic here was better. Okay, that means we're on to off-season recruiting. This is also kind of a stressful part. Let's see here, any more super chats I have to catch up with. 27 Super Yankees. Dream trade scenario. Giants trade down with the Broncos. Bills trade up with the Browns at 4. 4 consecutive quarterbacks are taken, and the Giants take Barkley at 5. I think that's actually feasible. The quarterbacks are going to go early, and teams are going to trade up to do it. And that means Saquon Barkley's going to fall, Quentin Nelson's going to fall, Roquan Smith, all these players that are projected to go pretty early, they're all going to fall. Everyone scrambles for a quarterback, and the value falls to everybody else. Going to be fun for those teams. If you need a quarterback, it's not going to be that much fun, unless you get who you want, because you're going to pay a very steep price. Whips and chains. KC is not a stepping stone school. We're being treated like one, that's for sure. And then Dave Show asks in a super chat, how many hours a week do you work on your channels? I don't even know. I don't know. It is a lot, that's for sure. All right, so we have recruiting now this year. And these are the top classes, or where we're ranked in the top classes. Kalispell currently 64th. Hopefully we can do a little bit better than average in the country, but I don't think it's going to be one of our best years. 12 to 13,000 into Warren. We might end up in a situation like that because Warren would be a really dynamic player that would push us forward. But we know that we're going to face some very, very good competition from Nebraska. I don't see how I can go less than 10K for him. I've had a left tackle that Michigan dumped like 10K into at one time. Couldn't see that coming. For Warren, I mean, it could be a situation where Nebraska puts in very little, but I'm not counting on that with a talent like Warren. And I'll show you what his game is all about here in a moment. Let me get the 10K first. It takes a while. Super chat here from the Bud Knight. Big fan of the Matt Pierre series. Battle series? If I ever go to a quarterback series again, I don't know. A pocket passing quarterback might be interesting. And from Snowbird, retired number 69, Jared Merritt is the GOAT Warhawk. I don't know if we're going to retire the number. Winston Lewis, Merritt got drafted because he had the GOAT's number. He did have Leon's number, that's for sure. Perhaps that was all the magic he needed. So the other one that I like a lot is Jamari Akinjide, and this is a very competitive battle as well. First of all, Warren, he is a little bit undersized considering that I want to play him probably at quarterback, but he's 5'11", 181, and we're a good fit for him. He's from North Dakota. I do wonder what his injury, oh, there it is, 82. So he's a little bit undersized. Injuries could be a concern. His best positions would be quarterback or receiver. 90 speed, 91 throw power, 79 throw accuracy, 88 vision, 71 spin, 85 route running, 79 catching. So if we get Brandon Warren, I would list him as a quarterback. I think we would start running some sort of a hybrid offense and try to find something that works. We can run some sort of option attack with Warren. We can have more of a pocket-oriented offense with Justin Colbert. Warren could play some receiver, but I'd probably list him as a quarterback because after some development, that accuracy might be a little more respectable. And I'd rather develop him in that area than receiver. And just think about that speed. Retired days number, I probably won't use number 1. Unless I get a player that I think can do what Ja'Cory Day did. So Brandon Warren, he was the most intriguing player here on the board. Now, Jamari Akinjide, I think he's a prototypical strong safety, great size, 6'3", 211, moves pretty well at 86 speed, 89 acceleration. Coverage is decent, especially for a young safety, and he can hit. I'd love to get a player like him, especially on a team that struggled to tackle. However, look how competitive this is going to be with Cal and Boise State. The other player I wanted to talk about here is Adam Heath. And this is a battle that's never really gotten started. He's a junior college player, and I'm a little worried this one doesn't actually end. I found him very late in the process. Look at those ratings. 81 power, 84 finesse, 90 block shed. I need that kind of talent. But if I put like 1,500 into this, is that enough to get this done? That I'm not sure about. Then there's Rodney Hall in another very competitive battle here. Marquise James. This is maybe the most stressful offseason because almost everybody is in some sort of intense battle between at least one team. A big problem is if you put all your points in tough recruiting battles, if you lose everyone, you're kind of, yeah, exactly. There's a chance that we don't win any of these, or only one, and then what? Josh Price sends a super chat, been watching since 2011, thanks for the memories. Thank you, Josh, that was the very beginning of all of this. I appreciate it. Oh, this is pretty tough right here. We don't have the most complete recruiting class. Really, the highlights to me are Carl Joyce, the speedy receiver, Jaquan Cunningham, the big nose tackle, and then Tommy Jordan, the athlete who can play some receiver. But I'm hoping we can get 3 to 4 more players, and that seems like it's going to be very difficult. Marquise James, not a very good cover safety. I don't think I can justify putting many points into him. Rodney Hall. Man, these are just so competitive. Logan Cooper. I probably don't put many points into him and just hope that we win it. He'd be an excellent addition for us. Let me just go like 100 for now. We need to hope we get Warren. Essentially, Brandon Warren, if we lose on him, like, that changes a lot. Because I've already started to think about what we do if we get him. Could Warren play wide receiver for a few years, then quarterback? Some sort of thing like that. But I think that he could play quarterback and receiver in some capacity right away. So I had the luxury of making some of the toughest recruiting decisions here. Can't wait. What's Jared Britt's position? Isn't it like running back? Decent throw power, but not good enough. Yeah, probably a running back. What's the trucking? 74 injury. That's really low. Oh, that one would take too much work anyway. Victor Cook, we're way down. Kelly Thompson, we're down. Kyle Holman, we're in first place for the power back. 82 speed, 80 strength, at only 196 pounds. I might just hope we win that one. Brandon Williams, outside linebacker. Yeah, this is not the best recruiting class at all. So these are the players we really have to focus on. I'll take LaDante Ellis down here. We're not winning that. It's really these top 5. Warren through Hall. What do we do here? Julian Waller, Ja'Cory Day. Oh, man. One dominates at the college level, one dominates at the pro level. Don't make me decide between the two. Bo Lee to quarterback. That's where I got him originally. So, I want to sort this, I think, by our lead. So, negative 400. This one's tied. I'm going to put Heath above Akinjide. We're going to put Cooper up here. I'm not sure if order matters. Let me just take Cooper back down. Akinjide, that's super competitive. And I have to count on 2 teams not putting in like 5K. Drew Cagle sends a super chat. What parts of offseason are you showing? Schedule. We'll talk schedule, but I won't decide the schedule in stream. There's always like 500 comments about who I should play, and there are 3 teams I can pick, and it's just a lot of noise. We just get on to practice at that point. Too much on Warren. 9K into Warren, 4K into Hall, 1.5 into Akinjide, 500 into Heath. Adam Heath. I think I'm going to put a lot less into Heath because I know that I can't like make that red bar a green bar. So all I want to try to do is make sure K-State doesn't win it. Akinjide. I'm going to put 2K into him for now. Like, these decisions here are going to have a huge impact on the future of this series. Kane, you need 12K on Warren. Nebraska won the national championship. They have the edge on recruiting. Oh, man, I have to recruit against the national champs? I didn't even check the bowl results this year. If I go 11K into Warren, that gives us a 12,000 point cushion. Nebraska would have to go essentially all in. I'll even drop Heath a little bit more. I forgot about Rodney Hall. Oh, man. Right now I have 11K into Warren, 2,600 into Akinjide, 1,000 into Rodney Hall, 300 into Heath, 100 into Cooper. And then I have a lead for other players who may or may not decide to even play football. Give Hall at least 1,000. Okay, I have him at 1,000 now. You won't get Jamari with those points. I am kind of worried about that. Cal is the main competition there. Would Akinjide be the top player on Cal's board? I don't know. I want to try getting as much information here as I can. I want to see where Cal and Nebraska are at in terms of their class rank. Because if they're already toward the top, perhaps their boards are smaller. Therefore, they can put a lot of points into these players. Alright, so starting at the top. Oh, Minnesota. After a 4-8 season. Nebraska only has 8. 2 are 5s. They have a quarterback already. But 8 is a small number. And then Cal. I might have already passed up Cal. That or they're very low. They have 10. And they don't have a safety yet. I feel like Cal's going to go heavy on Akinjide. Then there's FSU and Oklahoma. Like, this is tough. This is Amari. No, don't say that's Amari Cooper Part 2. I can't have that in 2 straight off seasons. So if I had 11K on Warren, I'm not sure how much Nebraska has. I need to look at Nebraska's head coach, because that will tell me basically their budget, and I'll then know kind of what's safe. I don't know their limits, because I think that I've done multiple upgrades for Leon Daniels that's given him extra off-season points. But I'm sure Nebraska has a good coach too. Recruiting. That is a thing, right? Is there extra off-season XP, or is that not a thing? Is it only in-season? Oh, there it is. They don't have it. So that means they only have 10K. Right? That way I could put like 9,005 on him, and I'd be for sure to get him. Guaranteed. Alright, I'm glad I checked that. I haven't really thought to check that in the past, but this is a very important offseason. If I go 9,005, they can't pass me. Which allows me to put the rest into Hall and Akinjide. They wouldn't put 10K into him, right? I'm not trying to get super risky here, but I'm just wondering. If now we put like 35 into Akinjide, and then, you know, build up a lead here for Rodney Hall. I have to hold off Boise as well. This gives us a fighting chance to get these top 3. Right there. Kane bonus points exist. I don't know how the bonus points are allocated. I know what Warren's interests are, and we probably fit them. We're closer to home than Nebraska, but they're going to have a high pro potential. Maybe I have to put like... Yeah, a lot of you are saying like 95 on Warren. I'm not sure if it needs to be that many. Especially because we're talking about Nebraska having to put every point they have on him. But yeah, they would certainly have higher pro potential. You can check Nebraska's points. Oh, they're hardly better than us. That's only plus 20. Okay. So, what if I just go like 9100 or 9050? I'm honestly not worried about losing him. We're looking at like worst case scenario right now. We're doomsday prepping for Brandon Warren. And that's the worst case scenario if they go all in. Cal has a nice lead for Akinjide, and they have a big bonus. That bonus does not look good. We have to hope that Hall is not on their radar very heavily. This might be the best we can do right here. So 90-25 is all you need. 90-25. Let's do that. All right, I think we're ready. I think we are ready. I really want Adam Heath. I just don't see us winning this. I think it would be very tough. Okay. Oh, man. I'm going to take a little bit off of Akinjide. I'm trying to get Adam Heath. I want to stay ahead of anybody that has offered him a scholarship. No one's showing that much interest. Let's go for it. Let's go for it. No one's ever going to be... This chat is never going to be a consensus sim now. I think I've done this the best I can in this very inexact science of NCAA 14 recruiting. I've seen some crazy things happen. Let's hope that we can get our top prospects. Let's go. On to signing day. Alright, no more super chats. I just have to watch then. Oh. This is gonna be hard. Once you get over this, it's all uphill. You get training results, you get all good news. But this is where it's so stressful. Nick Noe sends a super chat. Amari 2.0 gonna look real nice in Nebraska red. Oh, don't say that. Brand new cashews. Let's go. Brandon Warren, Rodney Hall, Jamari Akinjide. I did it. There is no Amari Cooper part 2. I avoided it. And there is a 5-star prospect now for the Kalispell Warhawks. How's that for an Amari 2.0? Didn't get them all, but how about that performance? Whoa! I barely beat out Cal. Barely beat Cal. Rodney Hall, okay. Adam Heath. Ooh, I wasn't going to put 2K into him. Logan Cooper. That means that ASU put 5K into him. That's a big swing. Marquise James, that would have been an easy one, but I had too much other stuff to do. You just took more dubs than I've ever taken in Fortnite. I haven't won in Fortnite either, but I play like 12 games. I think I'm the last content creator that hasn't done Fortnite yet. I might do it on second channel. Y'all want to see Fortnite or not? Anthony Hunter, we lose there. We win Brandon Williams. Kyle Holman. Yeah. If I'm going to lose, I want to lose ugly here. And we did. All right. Nebraska didn't even try, guys. Hardly even tried. That's okay. Very good class. It's a good wrap up to this class anyway. Where do we rank? Kalispell 37th. Not bad. '37th ranked recruiting class. Brandon Warren at the very top of the list, the 5-star athlete who's going to play quarterback and receiver. There are some walk-ons here as well. I am very happy with how this finished out. Do not bench this 5-star recruit. We can't have Freddie Kimbrough 2.0. A 5-star athlete has never taken the field for Kalispell. Only in practice, and that was Kimbrough. That is huge. Five-star Brandon Warren. I'm not sure what number he's going to wear yet. It's important, though, that I list him at quarterback so he develops as a passer, but still has good abilities at receiver. Noah Hillman sends a super chat. Please give Jamari an out-of-position number like 12 or 9. I think Blackjack would approve. He's been wanting me to do a lot more of that. And he created Jamari Akinjide. All right. Who is Marcus Powers? Oh, he can't throw. That's unfortunate. Warren is an 81 overall quarterback, or running back, or receiver. That's incredible. Tommy Jordan. He is a 76 halfback, a 75 receiver, also a 76 safety. Here are Tommy Jordan's ratings. Jordan 90 speed at 6'2", 201 pounds. His agility and acceleration and strength combo make me not want to play him at running back at all. Also, no trucking, no elusiveness, no moves. If you can't create yards, you're not one of my running backs. I have high expectations, but I still want 7 of them. Aces of Games UK. Great draft, Kane. Is this the year we see the most dangerous back in Florida, Marty Belafonte? You're going to see him today in practice for sure. We have a lot of running backs to figure out who's going to be in the rotation. Tommy Jordan. I think he'd be interesting also at safety. Two-way player. Even if that's the case, where would he best develop? I'd assume receiver. Jordan Perry, give Warren the Ryan Tannehill treatment. You mean playing him at receiver and quarterback? But Tannehill played receiver first, right? A lot of you are saying safety for Tommy Jordan. I've been thinking receiver this whole time. Here's what we have for receivers. Not much speed here. Tommy Jordan might not make much of an impact early on as a receiver or a safety. Keep that in mind. Carl Joyce has the deep speed. He's the only one. There's Justin Payne, who has pretty good size. Amonte Jones has been a good receiver. If we look at catching, we have two receivers that are going to have reliable hands. No one is going to make spectacular catches. Only one can make catches in traffic. And Joyce and Payne are our best route runners. Not much big play potential here. So consider Tommy Jordan. Good speed, better than almost all of them. 74 catching. 77 spec. Yeah, maybe safety is right. Dude has 81 zone, Kane. He's a free safety. Sometimes the simplest explanation is the right one. That gives us some safety depth, everybody. Tommy Jordan. That certainly helps out our safety depth chart this year, getting Akinjide and Jordan. Why not play him at both? Perhaps. That's the beauty of college football. There are like no rules. I don't think there were any other changes I wanted to make. Tommy Jordan only had 66 tackling. Yeah, he wasn't going to be the most complete player at either spot. And by the way, we have not seen training results yet, so a lot of this stuff is going to be changing dramatically. Hopefully we get some +7s or some +6s. So Jordan is not going to be the best tackler early on in his career. But I don't think he was going to be the most dynamic receiver either. Like, his hands need work. He doesn't break tackles. He's probably not going to make anybody miss. He's just kind of a possession receiver, and we have a million of them. Plus, he has fairly low injury. His release is low. Maybe with some time he could develop into being a good receiver. He's going to get spun out, but there's nowhere he was going to be complete. And safety is his best position from an overall standpoint. I think I'm inclined to agree. Not even possession he can't catch. That's a good point. Gonna move Jeff Childs to kicker. And Cedric Parks to punter. Just so we have our strongest leg as our point scorer. I don't mind having the weaker punter because then I can't outkick my coverage and we can just force fair catches all day. By the way, if you want to look at quarterbacks quick, obviously Warren is the fastest. Payment also has some speed, but where the separation happens is as throwers, in addition to being runners. Warren is the more dynamic runner. Also, his carrying, much better than almost every quarterback I've ever seen. Warren has the strongest arm. His accuracy will be a concern. Let me make sure I have my rights and lefts all figured out too for linebackers and ends. And linemen. Let's get another right end. Anthony Hicks. Chase Rourke, 71 awareness is pretty good. Kane already in Colbert. I think there's going to be an interesting hybrid type of offense this year. I need to do some practice with it and see what I like the most. And I do have to do training still because players are still going to get better. We lost an outside linebacker, but it's hard to notice given how many we have. Lots of corners. Could Hampton play receiver? I'm just wondering. I wouldn't actually move him there because we don't have the cornerback depth. He probably could. 77 catching. He's obviously a corner. All right. Oh, was there some lag? I guess we must have dropped some frames. Yeah, we sure did. Looks like we're back though. Refresh. All right, it is dropping more frames at the moment. Hopefully it fixes itself. If you're watching this on playback, you might want to skip forward a little bit. Hopefully it gets more stable here in a moment. Stabilize now. Okay. Yeah. Much better. Ryan Bartlett sends a super chat. Ben here sends Vikings. Please play West Virginia this year. I'll consider a lot of teams, but I know that this is the year that Sidney John Charles is supposed to start for Minnesota. Therefore, I want to play him. And I'm also thinking for our Pac-12 opponent this year, what about rematch against Utah? They moved on from a lot of their best players. We move on from a lot of our best players. We haven't played them yet in the regular season, so maybe that makes sense as our Pac-12 opponent for this year. Training results, my favorite part. And I have to consider Vandy, too, because never played an SEC team, and Jonathan Starks is their coach. Training results, everybody. Top overall player on our team now is Shannon Evans, getting +4. Let's go by position here. Justin Colbert, he goes +6. We were all big Colbert fans last year. Now Brandon Warren is here to make things more interesting. Colbert, 89 accuracy, 88 throw power. Arm not as strong as Warren's, but his accuracy is now above by 10. At running back, Terrence McKinley is the top overall, but he's not going to start. We do have some speed out of our backfield. Strongest back is Marcus Payne. Highest acceleration goes to Troy Lee. Broken tackles, that's going to be McKinley. Truck, McKinley. Elusiveness, Kyle Thomas. Stiff arm, McKinley. Spin, Lee. Juke, Thomas. Carrying is McKinley. Catching is McKinley. Like, everyone's going to get a chance. But who's going to get that playing time? I don't know yet how it's going to shake out. At fullback, Bo Lee and Brandon Tolbert. Wide receiver. Not the biggest boost here, including just a +3 to Mike Harris. Again, we're not very dynamic here. We have 2 possession receivers that we can rely on to catch the football. But as far as stretching the field, that's going to be a challenge. Tight end. Hayden John Charles goes +5. Hayden got a little bit faster, a little stronger. After how well he played last year, I have high expectations this season. At tackle, good boost here for Bryce Wiley and Shelton Colbert. I like seeing that. Wiley gave up 18 sacks last year, though, so hopefully his senior year is his best. Left guard, Sean Gallagher +5. Andy Colbert +6. Mike Hill +6. Andre Scott +4. Noah Manuwai was one I wanted to develop too. Unfortunately, I had him and Hutchinson as hopefully guards and tackles of the future, and now only have one of them. And let's go defense now. Chris Harrison +5. Looking for some pass rush moves. Pretty solid across the board. Right hand triplet +4. Is he ready to take it to the next level this season? Someone's got to take over for Jared Merritt. It might be triplet. At D tackle. Boogie only a +3. I'm not sure when I'm going to get Boogie on the field. I hope it's soon. I almost started him last year, but I think it would have been a little early. The potential's there, but maybe not even this year. Outside linebackers, +4s. Some nice boosts here for the middle linebackers. At corner, Hampton gets the +5 treatment. And Jameel Butler. I think Butler will allow us to move Glenn Hayes back to strong safety to potentially play there all season. Butler looked good in practice in the past. His tackling isn't a strength. There really isn't a lot of good. There aren't a lot of good tacklers on this defense in the secondary. Pretty good cover corners though. And then safety, Shannon Evans gets the boost. Chris Baker. Glenn Hayes, +5. He gets faster. +2 tackling. And then Jeff Childs, our kicker this year. He is going to have a kick power of 89, which isn't terrible. But we're going to have a lot to change with the schemes. And I think we have to do practice today to get a feel for this roster. But then I have to do a stream here soon, this week, where I kind of give you my new vision for the offense. Because I do want to do some stuff with Colbert at quarterback, and I also want to try some stuff with Warren at quarterback. How is that going to work? Today, we're just going to get players on the field and see what they do well and what they struggle with. That's all. Got it cut 3. All right, Marcus Powers. Joe Rodriguez. Kyle Hairston. Jason Barber. Now we're already below the limit. I'm just making some open spots here for potential transfers. Someone's got to transfer eventually, right? So 3 open roster spots. Custom conferences, we're not moving this year, so we'll skip right past that. Use Warren on jet sweep passes and other trick plays. I want to find out what his limits are today. I want to try a bunch of different routes, see where he struggles, and what the best way to use him is going to be. Alright, that's enough cashews for now. It's like running backs, I can't get enough. We go right past this stage and into preseason. Do you remember that weird drink you used to drink? G Fuel? Yeah, I used to drink that a lot. Haven't in a long time. I'm like 99% water now. Full house sets with option plays thrown in. I've thought about going full-blown option with this team. Running like the flex bone or something. Imagine our games against Air Force in New Mexico if we did something like that. Alright, so basically, now that we're here in preseason, I just want to get this team on the field. Maybe a little editing. Maybe a little editing. I'll tell you right now, Brandon Warren's not wearing number 19. We could give him number 4. We have to take off those ankle braces. Number 17. I guess that's a possibility. These menus are very slow, by the way. I'm cool with the 3/4 sleeves. Wait, is he a lefty or a righty? I never checked that. Warren is a righty. Alright. So on the left wrist, then we're going to go quarterback wristbands. I thought about keeping a glove on his throwing hand, though, considering he is a smaller quarterback and he probably has smaller hands. The glove might help grip. Plus, if he's going to play some receiver, he should probably have some gloves. We're giving him gloves here right now. With all kinds of bands here for Brandon Warren. He likes the accessories. Lower pad height. I will lower the pad height for sure. I'm not sure why it was ever like that. I'm not sure I like the forearm band. No gloves? A lot of people don't like the gloves. I think he needs to try the gloves. He's 5'11", like 180 pounds. He needs the glove to grip the football. Oops. I'm not crazy about the number 17. I like giving my quarterback single-digit numbers most of the time. I'll see if I can clear one open. So we'll come back to him. No new running backs. I slacked off there. Super chat from Kaleidoscope. Please give Warren a back plate and high socks. LOL. I gave him the flak jacket. I'll have to see how the appearance looks. I might give him the back plate. Derek Vance. Worst Vikings quarterback, Tavares Jackson or Donovan McNabb. McNabb was far worse than Jackson was in Minnesota. McNabb was terrible. These numbers are not all final, by the way. I just don't always want to take the time to edit them during the stream because the menus take forever. I can't give Juno a number in the 40s, though. A lot of this could change between now and the regular season. Give Joyce a single-digit number. I'll change Joyce. I forgot about Joyce. Tommy Jordan wearing 23. Akinjide. I wanted to give Akinjide kind of an out-of-position number. I also wanted to do the same for Leo Thorne, but he's probably not going to play right now. So, what numbers can I clear open then? What am I not happy with? Let's change up Joyce. Again, I'll probably change a lot of these appearances. Marty Belafonte is wearing 11. I didn't see a lot of the single-digit ones being used. I didn't think so, but I guess 5 and 6 are used. 1 is probably free, not going to do that. Probably not going to give him number 2. That was Marquise Walker. We could go 3. That was Sonny Archer's number. Super chat here from Aiden O'Keefe, sorry. Give Warren 3 like Wilson and take off the gloves. Well, I already gave him 3. Why is everyone knocking the gloves, though? I'm just not going to win with this glove battle, am I? I gave you a very logical reason. How about taped fingers? Do we like the taped fingers look? I'm not sure I've ever done that. One glove on non-throwing hand. We're gonna practice like shortly after this, though. A lot of people want to see these players get on the field, and so do I. Let's get to practice. We'll worry about the rest later. Wait. Don't discard changes. Advance. Let's play some football already. Oh, and just to verify for scheduling purposes, I just wanted to see that we are going to see Sidney John Charles from Minnesota this year. Yeah, he's their best quarterback, so we're most likely going to play against the Gophers and the quarterback that decided not to be a Kalispell Warhawk. And for those wondering about a couple stats from old players, UCLA, Jesse Heikkinen's a 97 overall now. Didn't get to play much last year at all. He was injured. Brock Oxendine at Wyoming. Name off any players in their school here if you can quickly remember, and I'll do these for a little bit, and then we're going to get into some action. Brock Oxendine is now a senior. 9 sacks in his career. Jay Ewing is a senior over at Rutgers. He was a big corner I was trying to recruit one year, and he had 5 interceptions last year. He turned out to be very good. That's what we missed out on. Was I discarding the whole time of those changes? What happened to Freddie Kimbrough? It's a great question. I forget where he went. I will guess until you tell me. Nailed it. Freddie Kimbrough. 5-star athlete, left us, and looks like didn't play last year. I thought he had a long way to go. Miami running back. Perfect. Let's go see what Sharquez Towns is up to. He's a senior now. Sharquez Towns. Maybe he'll be in the Heisman race. Oh, wow. The numbers have not been amazing in his career. I'm not sure he's ever had the chance to be the full-time starter. Maybe he's dealt with some injuries. But he should get that chance this year. Florida State quarterbacks. We want to go see what is up there. Oops, not Fresno. Taquan Layton still not going to be in line to start this year. At Washington, there's Juno Springs. Or not Juno Springs. Reno Springs, I thought, went to Washington. Did he not? Washington State? Yeah. Reno Springs. This is Juno Springs' brother. And with the Cats, not a ton of production in his career yet. Centarius Phillips and Rafa. Oops, there he is. Rafa a little bit low on the depth chart. 6 sacks as a sophomore, or as a freshman, none as a sophomore. And then Centarius Phillips at Clemson. He hasn't done very much yet either. A lot of these players haven't yet. Oh yeah, Cougars, my bad. I couldn't think of their name at the time. Washington State Cougars, that's right. I'm sorry. I was drawing a blank. I knew it wasn't the Wildcats. I was like, maybe it's the Bobcats. I'll just call them Cats. Turns out, I was wrong. Super chat from Blackjack, who helps out with recruiting a ton. Happy St. Patrick's Day, all the green to you in the Kalispell future. Thank you, Blackjack. I appreciate it. Let's have some fun now with the boys in green and blue. Maybe can we practice in our green uniforms for St. Patrick's Day? I need to reset formation subs, though, because sometimes you'll do a switch on here that will freeze the loading screen going into practice, and that's what happened last year. So I have to reset them, which I should do every year anyway. We have different players. These menus take forever. What time is it? 4:06. We're making pretty good time today. Let's get to practice now. I'm not sure how much longer these servers are going to be up. Let's play some football. Working on Season 7 recruits right now, actually, as well as my own stuff. Yep, Blackjack and I will be working on recruiting here very shortly. Looking to see what we can make happen for Kalispell this time around. I can't change unis. So, there's a lot that I hope to learn right now, and most of it's with the offense. I want to know, how good are these quarterbacks? What are their limitations? I want to know with these running backs, who creates yards and how do they do it? And at receiver, who can make plays? We don't have the most dynamic skill position players this year. There's no Roscoe Sheridan counterpart to take over his role exactly. There is no Ja'Cory Day anywhere near this roster. Clay Hutchinson leaving was a huge deal. That was a big negative. Losing one of our best developmental offensive linemen is not my idea of a fun time. So why don't we just start out here, do a little ace slot, random play against nickel 245. Let's back up the football a little bit. Do I not have any music playing this whole time? Some of you probably appreciated that fact, but actually I probably had music playing, but my audio was all the way down. I didn't hear any of it. I'm gonna have us playing all the way back here. Yeah, I didn't hear any of the music this whole time. So, we know Colbert has a very good arm. Last year in practice, many thought he was the best quarterback on the roster. He certainly has the strongest arm as this throw gets knocked away. His accuracy also looked very good in the off-season last year. So I thought naturally he'd take over for J.R. Battle this season, and we would see basically the offense stay relatively the same. But with us getting Brandon Warren, that certainly that makes things a little more complicated because of his speed. If he wasn't that fast, I probably wouldn't consider him at quarterback, but he has like receiver-like speed and the ability to throw. So I know we all want to see him get on the field. As far as speed, our main downfield threat is right there. It's Carl Joyce, number 10, who is likely to play as a true freshman. Hopefully his hands are reliable enough, but don't count on anybody else being your Hail Mary receiver. That was really just for last year and the time we had J.R. Battle starting. That was the only time we had a strong arm quarterback and speedy deep threats. Now we're back to a little bit more limited offense. Doesn't mean it can't be good, but it will certainly be different. Get that tight end screen out of here. It's a good play. It's a very good play. They haven't stopped it yet. How about the swing screen? See, McKinley, he runs with some power. He's not going to give you much burst, and that's probably going to keep him from being a starter. Maybe he could be a short yardage goal line back, but beyond that, I mean, he feels really slow playing here. Doesn't change directions very fluidly. If the hole is not in front of him, he's not going to be getting many yards. Mike Harris has excellent hands. Oh, wow. Nice throw off balance. Mike Harris, very good hands, but little ability to make plays after the catch. There you go. If he drops a pass, there's something wrong. We've seen Harris make some plays before in this series. Oops. Still worked. So I've had some different thoughts about what to do this year with the offense. I'm not sure how many 3-wide sets I want to use. Depends how reliable our third receiver is, which could be Carl Joyce. But at the same time, do we have 2 tight ends that can allow us to run 2 tight end sets? That's one of my problems. Things are very incomplete now. I expect that Hayden John Charles and Amonte Jones will be our most productive receivers this year. They're certainly the most proven receivers going into year 7. We get some new players in. But we're certainly going to miss the likes of Battle Sheridan and Jacory Day. We're going to get a few more snaps in with Colbert. I want to try Kyle Thomas. He is kind of the intriguing running back here with his speed. Marcus Payne I hyped up coming into this year. Payne is stronger. I think he is more of a prototypical 3-down back. But Thomas has elite elusiveness. And he might be the better player to get the ball a lot this season. Let's try a new formation then. Ace big. There are a lot of plays in here I don't feel like running, but I'll just call audibles. And they always have a weird playbook here for practice, so I guess we're going to call a 3-4 defense against us. We'll start with a halfback pass for Kyle Thomas. That doesn't work. But Thomas might be the shiftiest back we've ever had here at Kalispell. Good speed, elusiveness, has some moves to throw in there as well to create extra yards. And that's what I look for at running back. How do you create? Because anybody can run through a lane if they're fast enough. But what happens when you meet the defender? The first defender is the play over. You have a chance to go around him, go through him. What's your game all about? What videos are coming out today after the stream? This is the only one here on the main channel. Bears Season 3 Week 1 will be coming tomorrow. I am mostly complete with the episode. And then on the second channel, Browns Rebuild is going up after the stream. All these blitzes are not very kind. But the way I look at it right now, like, we don't have the most complete receiving core or anything. So to limit our offense to just kind of pocket passing doesn't make sense without receivers that can be explosive. So that's where I think Brandon Warren makes things really interesting, because with his speed, I mean, he's the type of quarterback that could go to New Mexico or Air Force and play some option for them and be a nightmare for us to deal with. So certainly this year should mark the return of option. But is it going to be an option style offense? Is it going to be like the read option stuff that we used to run with Marquise Walker? What's the form going to be? And Kyle Thomas probably not going to do halfback passes very often. Thomas, though, good burst. Is the music too loud? I can probably turn it off. There is some game sound in the background.
Kill, kill. Yellow side up. Set. Black 9.
Let's try some shotgun runs here. One thing we did really well last year was run outside zone. And that's kind of what I want to practice right now. I just want to run this buck sweep play a handful of times. A super chat here from Nicholas. Sup, Kane? Here's some green for St. Patty's Day. Go Kalispell. Thank you, Nicholas. I appreciate it. So outside zone was our bread and butter with Roscoe Sheridan. Nice broken tackles here by Kyle Thomas. If he brings any sort of power, that's just extra, because that's not his, identity as a back. But the other back I have to see more of is Marcus Payne, who can, I think, break more tackles. But right now, I have no clue who's going to be our lead running back. Who's going to be the best for the job. Ooh, Alex Hardy blitzing through. So here's what Thomas looks like running the outside stuff. Now let's see him running some of the inside stuff. Let's get a few reps at this. We'll get to the quarterback, don't worry, Brandon Warren. I know everyone wants to see him. We're looking at running backs right now. Don't forget whose channel this is. So Kyle Thomas, can he run between the tackles? He's shown a little bit better power than expected on those outside runs. Main thing I'm looking for is, does he go down on first contact? Certainly has the speed to take advantage if the holes are there. He has broken a fair amount of tackles, too. But yeah, the blocking hasn't appeared to be very great. I'm looking for Bryce Wiley this year to stabilize that left side and not give up so many sacks or pressures. Defense is having a pretty good practice so far. Thomas is falling forward, though, on some of these runs, and he is breaking some tackles. All right. Not everybody's going to get a million snaps today. Let's move on to Marcus Payne and then Marty Belafonte and Troy Lee. This is kind of my running back gauntlet right now. And there's going to be more practice. There's going to be at least 1 or 2 more streams for the offseason. Depends on how much I still need to learn with these players and how much it's going to change. So let's run buck sweep with Marcus Payne. Payne also has good speed, but he also brings some power to his game. We'll see if we get a chance to see it. And we'll rotate in some defense as well, especially when we get to Brandon Warren and pass the ball a little bit more. I want to see Jamari Akinjide. I want to see Glenn Hayes back at safety. There's that burst from Payne. Oh, Alex Hardy. Alex Hardy keeps getting there. Nice little hesitation move there by Payne. Couple broken tackles there. Let's try going up the middle again. We almost ignore the running game at times in these streams, but today we can't. We've had the same starting running back for a while now. From Roscoe Sheridan's time splitting carries with Sammy Hawthorne to being the uncontested starter with Corey Miller. Remember Sammy Hawthorne? He was fun. So as you can see, Payne, not like an overpowering back. There is some power there. Not seeing a ton of it. A lot of first contact stops. But yeah, he's playing against a pretty aggressive defense right now, that's for sure. Again, let's go through the running backs and their strengths. We're going to put in Belafonte now. I guess the roster page is a lot better for this. Troy Lee has best acceleration than Kyle Thomas. For broken tackles, McKinley, Lee, Thomas. I want to see Troy Lee a little bit. He has good elusiveness, the best acceleration, decent broken tackle. Like, this is just the most confusing backfield right now to sort out. I want to switch up some of these runs. Actually, I got to see Belafonte in outside zone, because this is where he should shine. But I think I'm going to switch to the power runs I'm calling. Marty Belafonte. He's getting some blocking. I'm trying to stay behind it. These linebackers are playing fast. Wow, look at Shannon Evans. He's gonna ball this year for sure. Oh, Belafonte shakes 1, 2. Still can't get far. We could just have like a 5 running back rotation this year. That sounds like my dream. Every running back gets the football. We'll just... I don't know, honestly, how I want to do it this year. Until someone takes over, I might have to, like, rotate possessions. Because there's not a ton to separate the backs right now. They keep catching Belafonte here. Let's do some bunch runs now. Halfback slash. Belafonte. Running back by committee. It's going to be a very busy committee. Very big committee. There's Belafonte almost getting free. Can't turn the corner on Glenn Hayes. Nice blocks. Nice blocks. Getting tripped up here a lot. We're like a half step away from breaking some of these. Alright, how about Troy Lee? I like this run for kind of showing what they can do, because this run can give you a little bit of everything. I was also playing at a disadvantage there. I had 3 receivers against a 3-4 defense. Let's get Troy Lee in the game. Lee, 88 speed, but he hits top speed immediately. The worst agility of our running backs. That might be a problem, but he has some strength, and he does have moves. So what can Troy Lee do? This is the most running I think we've ever done in practice. Number 42, Troy Lee. Ooh. There we go. There's a broken tackle, and he falls forward. That's what I want to see. Lee into the second level now. Like I said, the top speed isn't impressive, but the acceleration is. But his change of direction is also weak. There we go. Not going to break too many long runs. Make a pull to decide starting running back. I'd like to make a poll maybe to find your favorite. There's Troy Lee. That's the longest run. Hampton, though, he's going to catch him. Or Hayes. There's a broken tackle. Lee's making some plays. He's getting some good chances, too. I like that quick acceleration. What if I want to cut back? Lee's kind of nice. Okay, so there's some reps. The acceleration is a big deal. And Roscoe Sheridan had very good acceleration. So those are the 4 running backs. Or is it 5? Thomas, Payne, Belafonte, Lee. Yeah. Let me, I want to give McKinley snaps on that play. Just to see. Because he does have the best power. And this is a play, I think, that it is demonstrating what these running backs can do. So halfback slash from the bunch. Can McKinley get some extra yards for us? There's some. And throughout the rest of this practice, I'll just be subbing in the running backs. I do want to get them some pass game work as well. But soon we're going to start seeing what Brandon Warren's game is all about. I like McKinley's little dive forward. He's not the most powerful back, but if it's like one guy's there, maybe a little undersized, I think he'll grind out some extra. Play Warren at running back. I forget what his carrying's really good. I don't think he had the... No, he had some moves. Warren can play everything. Wasn't he 81 at quarterback, running back, and receiver? Like, Warren is going to do all kinds of things for this offense. We have so many needs. Yeah, McKinley has a good stiff arm. I can't forget about that. I'll try to use it. I'm not very good at stiff arming. He was an 81 at running back because he has 90 carrying. Yeah, that's a lot better than most. The running backs in this game come in with very low carrying. But you know what? I think it's time to debut Brandon Warren at quarterback. Again, to compare him to Justin Colbert. Warren is a dangerous running threat. 90 speed, 85 excel, 85 agility. He can break some tackles potentially too. 85 elusiveness. His best move is going to be spin, but probably shouldn't use it very much. Very good carrying, good catching. Strong arm, but the accuracy could be an issue. So get ready for what could be a very historic moment here in Kalispell football as we get a chance to see Brandon Warren play quarterback. McKinley as a Gruden grinder? Maybe. He could have that Matt Asiata game against the Eagles many years ago, like 34 carries, 66 yards, and 3 touchdowns. That was a classic game. I need to get a new running back in there, too. I'm going back to Kyle Thomas right now. All right, here's where Brandon Warren gets his chance. I'm just trying to find the right formation to get a little mix of everything I want to do. I think it is wing trio weak. There is some option in here. I probably removed a lot of it because we didn't need it anymore. But I'll have to put it back. Here we go. Here's Warren. Brandon Warren. Very first time as a Warhawk. Down the middle. Carl Joyce. We know the arm strength is perfect. Warren, though, as a runner. Could have done a lot better there. Kyle Thomas. And Warren escaping pressure. Yeah, he just glides out of the pocket. Deep ball. Almost picked for Jones. Again, they blitz him. We can run away. Reset. Throw it to Joyce. That was a little weak. Okay, see, there's some inaccuracy. There's a bad miss. Threw it right to a defender. There's a slant, though. Again, I wanted to see Warren throw at all levels to see like how reliable he's going to be on some of these plays. That was the biggest hit I think I've ever seen in this game. It's one of them. Amonte Jones. Someone tell Shannon Evans it's just practice. We're also going to try Warren at some other positions today. Uh-oh. I am a little worried about Warren's lower injury rating. Warren's deep ball. Nope. Here's some option. Oh, crushed by Owens. There's some spin from Kyle Thomas.
Red 2, red 7, here you go.
Timing route on the outside.
Green 9, green.
Maybe throws a bit early there, but it surely wasn't accurate. That one is. Carl Joyce, good catch. Same play. Carl Joyce on target. A speed option. I hate the way the CPU plays it. Warren. Once he gets into the open, could be over. Accuracy is mostly good. Oops, that was my bad. Ooh, Thomas. There we go. That juke. He does have some moves. Warren sprints outside. Deep ball. Joyce. See ya. Oh, he makes the tackle. But that's what Warren does, and we haven't seen that at Kalispell in a long time. And Marquise Walker didn't have the best arm accuracy or throw power, so that wasn't really a part of our playbook. Who knows what we can do with the hook and ladder. I gotta see Hayden John Charles downfield again. I hope that happens more often. He made all kinds of plays downfield. Up top. Nope. Gotta go for it, Hayden. And notice that Warren has not fumbled yet. That 90 carrying.
Red 2, go.
Always ready for a lateral. Ooh.
Red 2. Red 2. Blue 4.
Intermediate accuracy hasn't been bad.
Red 2. Green out.
You always worry, though, about that accuracy popping up at the wrong moment. 3rd and 8. You blow it, and you lose the game. That's what you're worried about. Joyce.
Here we go.
If he had intercepted that. What a ridiculous play.
Black 5, go.
So we're going to see a lot of Brandon Warren today.
Black 5.
We need to get to know him. Oops.
Here we go.
One more play from this formation. That's a dime. Oh, fumbled it. Mike Harris, though, hustles.
Green 9.
Am I caught up here on Super Chats? Yes, I am. Alright, let's swap out Thomas now. Let's put Troy Lee back in. And at receiver, why don't we get to see Amonte Jones? We know enough about him. We'll go Jermaine Finley. And we will also go with Justin Payne. At tight end, I want to see Reggie Jackson. And then let's go to the defense. I want to see Jameel Butler play, but I also want to see Oscar Bryant. And then I want to get Juno Springs in the game. At safety, I want to see Tommy Jordan. And then at strong, Glenn Hayes, which he is there. Tommy Jordan at receiver, I could try him there too. Now, what formation to run? There are a couple options in here. Alright.
Red 2. Green 15. Go. Red 2.
Some of these plays I'm not crazy about.
Green. Go.
I can call some audibles though. Ooh, nice coverage. Wesley Merrill out there. Look at Wesley Merrill.
Green. Go.
Someone's got to get open here. Ah, there's a miss by Warren. Oh, Butler.
Black 5. Black. Black 5.
Absolutely drilled. Joyce making a lot of catches.
Dog 4. Dog 4.
That's some good rush right there too.
Dog 4.
So Carl Joyce, he could be an interesting player this year. Oh yeah, we have to get Akinjide in the game. I did want to see Hayes though play some strong safety, so he's probably already been there, actually. There's Justin Payne. Throw behind Jermaine Finley. Like those inaccurate throws, if he plays some quarterback, it's just something we have to kind of deal with.
Red 2. Red 2. Red 7. Red 7. Go.
Or in the deep ball. Oh, Juno Springs. There you go, Blackjack. Are you still in here? Yeah, I'm impressed with these corners. I think now, especially against backups, they're dominating. There's Juno Springs. Hopefully the defense is a lot better than last year. We have some improvements to make. Warren misses again. Oh, Finley makes the tough catch. Someone's got to make those plays this year. Nice play.
Red 2, green 15.
They're blitzing. Warren gets outside.
Green 9, green 9, kill. Red 2,
A lot of pressure up front, that's for sure. Ooh, good coverage. Good coverage, Springs. Read option should be back this year with Warren. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. That's Anthony Owens with the speed. All right. Owens as a blitzer then. Owens has the spy against running quarterbacks. That might have to be a thing. Defense playing some fierce football right now. Come on, offense. One more good play and I'll switch up formations. I'll take it.
Green 9, yellow 3, yellow 3.
What do I want to do now? I'm going to put in Marcus Payne. What about wing trips? Nah. Bunch. There are some good things in the bunch.
Red 2,
I especially want to see that sprint pass. Everything deep is covered. Marcus Payne. Warren floats it. Oh no!
Red 2.
We'll get Jamari Akinjide in there soon too.
Red 2. Red 2. Green 9. Red 2. Green.
Wow.
Green 9. Green 9.
Defense loves to hit us. Oh, that throw.
Here we go.
That throw. Look at the touch on that pass.
Red 2.
Give Marcus a chance, please. Uh-oh. Got to bail out. All the way back. Warren gets it away. Almost picked.
Green 9. Green.
Oh, man. Uh-oh. Warren. Too tough. Too tough.
Green 9. Green.
Come on, Finley.
Green 9. Here we go. Kill. Here we go.
There's that sprint pass finally. Ooh.
Here we go.
You're supposed to call random plays, but every play seems to be a blitz.
Here we go. Green 9. Green.
There you go. You got to get outside linebackers, Marcus. That is a must. Good run.
Here we go.
But yeah, Warren is not going to have the highest completion percentage. Why don't we, first of all, put Jamari Akinjide at safety. Let's shorten the field now, too. And I want to try out some different defensive linemen. Instead of Harrison, we'll go with Chad Moore. At D-tackle, I'm going to go Boogie Turner and Jaquan Cunningham. And at right end, I want to see more triplet. At backer, let's put in Xavier Bozeman. And I'll put in Titus Graves at one spot. We'll put Leo Thorne at the other. Alright, let me shorten the field quick. Do a little bit of red zone work now. Let's put the ball right at the 10-yard line. Close enough. Where's my water?
Red 2, blue 20.
Yes, Roscoe Sheridan should have been drafted. It doesn't make any sense. The overall is good. His size is good. His production. Everything should have been perfect, you'd think. Brandon Warren.
Red 2, let it go. Red 2, let it go.
Ooh.
Red 2, let it go. Red 2, let it. Red 2.
That speed option is so tricky. Nice, Butler.
Red 2, let it.
Float it. Not there. Not there.
Red 2, let it.
I'm a little worried about Warren down here in the red zone. Just
Red 2,
accuracy really counts, and we have less field to work with. It's harder to get wide open. Passes got to be a little more precise.
Red 2, let it. Red 2, let it.
Defense is covering everything.
Red 2, let go. Red 2, let. Red 2, let go.
There's a touchdown.
Red 2, let go.
And Payne. Oh, very close. Probably could have dove in there. Any other players that we should be getting a look at here that I have been forgetting about?
Red 2, let. Red 2, green. Red 2, green. Red 2, let.
Oh! Oh, come on, Reggie.
Green.
Gotta make that catch off the deflection.
Red 2.
Yeah, we are just getting destroyed down here in the red zone.
Here we go. Let go.
Nice play.
Here we
I think
go.
Jamari's wearing 28 for now.
Here we go. Let go. Here we go. Let go. Here we go. Let go.
Ooh, Payne. Almost.
Dog 4, let go. Dog 4, let go. Red 2, green.
Two quarterback system. I'm still kind of thinking two quarterback system until things get more clear.
Dog 4, let go. Dog 4.
And I'm going to be putting in JR Battle soon for some more throws, and I want to try out Warren at receiver because I want him to play whether it's at quarterback or not.
Orange 3, orange 3.
Oh, I did fix it. Let's see how he handles his business at wide receiver. I have to use this formation with Warren. I want to do that before the stream is over. How do you have setup plays in practice? That's not even fair. Let's spread the field.
Dog 4.
Back up a little bit.
7.
Alright, Justin Colbert is back in. Marcus Payne getting some more reps. I think I want to get him swapped out here pretty soon.
Down. Yellow 90.
Let's put Belafonte back in. Or did I say JR Battle? Justin Colbert. Oh, man. It's hard to forget about running backs. I'm surprised I don't mess that up more. JR Battle is back. That ends the quarterback controversy. Ooh, what about this formation? Normal Y slot.
Down. Blue 78.
I'm putting in Oscar Williams at tight end, too. He's a better receiving threat than Jackson. Jackson's a better blocker. All right. Colbert. Not JR Battle. And there's Warren.
Down. Yellow 87. Down. White 87. Down. White 87.
Oh, nice move there by a Warren.
White 87. Set up.
What about Warren on the deep ball? Nope. Akinjide won't even let him try.
Down. Black 9.
There's a lot to figure out with this team. There are so many options for like running back and receiver spots. But I think it'll be a two-quarterback kind of system. Warren did throw the football pretty well, so I don't think it has to be like an option offense for him. Belafonte. But probably a lot of what we did with Marquise Walker. There are a lot of option plays that I can throw back into some of these shotgun formations. Ooh. Jameel Butler, I'm a fan. I expect Carl Joyce to play a good bit, given he has the most speed. Yeah, this offense just, it's like we're starting over almost. A lot of the offensive line is the same, but the players touching the football, so much new. And this defense is a good one to test things against. Season 7 is going to be interesting. I have no clue what's going to happen when this thing starts. We'll have another practice stream later this week, though. I know that. Nice little spin there. Warren, extra yardage. Good catch by Marty B. Hey, Carl Joyce. Dustin Payment. We know our other quarterbacks are backups. Oh, man. Joyce. I like Colbert's accuracy, that's for sure. Oh, nice block. And Joyce, the distance. That's the closest thing we have to Ja'Cory Day now. Kick returns are going to be more difficult. Don't expect the same great field position. Nice play. I'm not even expecting many special teams touchdown opportunities anymore. Come on, Marty. The offensive line is looking a little overmatched here. Let's do some 5 wide here. Who do you think leads this team in receiving yards this year? I think Joyce can get them in the biggest chunks. Amante Jones is going to be the #1, so he should get a lot of targets. But what do you think? Is this Jones' year, or is it going to be another big play threat like Carl Joyce? Why am I seeing so many Eddie Benson messages now? Remember when Eddie Benson had that one game, like, in his senior season where he had, like, what was it? It was a bunch of yards and touchdowns. Some unprecedented big plays from him. This came out of nowhere. Nice. Amante Jones getting some action. And you can see Colbert, you know, on target with pretty much every throw. Eddie Benson had an 8.0 combine. I'm sure he did. I also think Brandon Warren, I don't know what his stats are going to look like. He should throw a lot. He should have some chances to catch. Like right now, if we're in a 2-minute drill, or say we have less time than that, like 55 seconds to go like 60 yards, you'd have to think that Colbert's the quarterback, so we can make our targets, our passes really count. It's going to be a crazy year. Warren's catching the football well. Let's get Warren back at quarterback. I want to run some of those plays I was pointing out earlier. Hayden John Charles in the slot. We have one formation that does that, the normal Y slot. And he made a lot of plays from that formation last year. Let's get Amante Jones back at the top. Let's get Hayden John Charles back in. Let's go Warren. And then I'm bringing back in some of these starting corners. Oops. This will probably be the last section of practice today, as I get most of the starters back in the game. All right, let's play some ball. I wanted to try split slot. Which running backs do I want to use? How about the two most intriguing ones of the day? We have Kyle Thomas and Troy Lee. Back up just a few. All right, Brandon Warren against the blitz. We know he can get outside the pocket. Throw's not where it's got to be. Triple option could be back. I do miss some triple option. Speed option, so risky. Shovel option. No one likes when I call this play. I expect Warren to have a fair amount of rushing success this year. You'll have to let me know in the comment section too if you're watching this after the stream is over, who's impressing you most in the practice, if anyone is standing out to you. I know I'm throwing a lot of plays out here, so sometimes it's hard to really see all of what's going on. Like I haven't been able to watch the linebackers or the safeties a ton, unless I'm targeting them in coverage. I feel like the running backs can catch the ball a lot this year. I'm just really uncertain about these receivers. Oh, there's a fumble from James Hampton, where he forces it. Oh, that's some speed. Wow. Wesley Merrill closes. These linebackers are so quick. Get upfield. He just ran into the ball. He forgot how to catch. This season could have the weirdest stats, though. Like, quarterback stats for two guys playing both kind of regularly. A bunch of receivers and no one really separating. A million running backs. Like, we might not have very many players make it to 500 yards receiving or rushing this year. Maybe it'll sort itself out. But for now, it's still pretty messy. I like Troy Lee. Watch out! That's our new quarterback. Look at that sidestep. Warren's pretty fun to play with, though. I haven't had too many running backs or too many quarterbacks with this kind of speed. Imagine if we had him and Ja'Cory Day in the same offense. That would have been nasty. Also, I wonder how good the running game is going to be with new running backs. Like, how much are we going to need to rely on Warren to run? If you had to pick right now, who is running back 1? If you made me select right now, I'd say Kyle Thomas probably running back 1 and Troy Lee running back 2. Not your best lateral, Amante.
Here we go, here we go, here we go. Green. Green 9, green.
Oh, almost got a hand on it. Thomas, Lee, Bo Lee. Warren will lead the team in passing, rushing, and receiving. That would be amazing. The Kalispell Triple Crown. I can't see it happening, but it's a fascinating thought. How'd you make that catch? I think Thomas right now would be the most popular. How does Mike Harris catch this? That's a very difficult throw. But 99 catching has to do something, right? This is not the same team anymore. And I wonder how difficult it's going to be. Like, we go 11 wins last year. What can you do with this team? There are some interesting pieces to a very strange puzzle here with the Year 7 Warhawks. This feels like a brand new team in a lot of ways. But there are some players here for sure. Ooh, nice play, Thomas. Got something there. That's what I want to see from my running back. Here's Troy Lee. I got a super chat here from Carice13. Are you going to switch to the Georgia Tech offense? I think our quarterbacks throw well enough to where we don't have to do that, but expect a lot of this. Triple option can be very effective. And here's Troy Lee. I like the cut here. Getting downhill against Hayes. And then get a few extra. Remember, Warren was a 5-star athlete, one of the top in the country. And I think one of the biggest reasons we got him is because he's from North Dakota. That gave us a good bonus. And maybe it made him, I'm not sure if it makes him harder to find in here. But I also think that, you know, the Alabamas of the world are not usually filling up their boards with these players from other states like this necessarily. I can understand, like, states that are at least close, but like North Dakota is probably like a D- on like proximity, and not a pipeline. I'm not sure if anybody has enough North Dakota players to have a pipeline there. How did he catch that? Carl Joyce has been really fun too. Some of the craziest plays in the practice. So Georgia Southern, I'm not familiar with Georgia Southern's offense. I know Jarek McKinnon played some quarterback in it. And now Jarek McKinnon is on the 49ers with Matt Breida, who was also on, he was a Georgia Southern running back, I believe.
Dog 4, green 15, to go. Green 9, green, to go.
Oh, Joyce can't catch everything. He tries.
Red 2, hey, kill.
Right now, there is no real starting quarterback between Warren and Colbert. I want to see them both play, and then let the play kind of separate the two. Both are very different, but I would trust Colbert right now. If the game was on the line, Justin Colbert is our quarterback. If we're down in the fourth quarter and need a touchdown, Justin Colbert right now is the quarterback for sure. Unless the receivers are just not doing a thing and we have to do something else. But I don't think it'll be that bad.
Red 2, green, to go. Green 9, green, now to go. Black 5, black, to go. Red 2.
Why doesn't shovel option work? I want to do that shovel pass so bad. I've been trying for almost 4 years.
Red 7, to go.
They are covering this play every time.
Red 2, to go. Here we go. Red 2.
There's a miss.
Red 2. Red 2. To go. Red 2.
All right, there is a lot to take away from this offseason, I feel. We ended up with a lot better recruiting class than I think most of us expected. It was very risky. There was a chance that we would get nobody or maybe just one player. That would have been Brandon Warren because we were so aggressive in getting him. But we ended up getting Warren, Akinjide, and Rodney Hall. We got a great safety, a great quarterback / running back / receiver, and a junior college transfer guard. So I ended up pretty happy with our recruiting class, finishing 37th. And now we head into this year, hoping to find some stability at running back. We saw all of our running backs play today, and they're all interesting players. The receivers, a lot of possession receivers, and then Carl Joyce as your big playmaker. And of course, two very polarizing quarterbacks, the pocket passing Justin Colbert and the true freshman Brandon Warren, who is a scrambling quarterback and one of the most interesting athletes now we've ever seen. So again, just want to compare and contrast the quarterbacks by some of their key ratings. Warren is 79 accuracy to Colbert's 89. At running back, your fastest is Marcus Payne. Your strongest is Marcus Payne. Agility goes to Kyle Thomas. Acceleration goes to Lee and then Thomas. Broken tackles, McKinley and Lee. Trucking, McKinley by a mile. Elusiveness, that's Thomas and Lee. Stiff arm, that's McKinley. Spin is Lee and then Thomas. Right now it looks like Kyle Thomas could be our leading running back this year. Catching, McKinley, Belafonte, Thomas. And at receiver, Harrison Jones, reliable hands, then Carl Joyce. We have some good route runners, but can we make the big plays and can we make the tough plays in traffic? Big question marks. So we're going to do another stream this week after the edited off season where I do more with the offense, try to maybe add some to our playbook and find our identity for this year. What are the Warhawks going to do in season 7? How are we going to go get some wins? So I have a lot to figure out, more than I think I ever had in an off season, because a lot is changing. And this team won't look much like last year's at all on offense. All right, so that is going to end this episode and this off-season live stream. I'm all caught up here on Super Chats. Thank you for all the Super Chats today. It was a great stream. We peaked at 1,511 viewers at one point. We've been live for nearly 3 hours. That's a long off-season. So I thank you all for joining me today. Thank you for making this series so much fun. But that is all for now. Kalispell Dynasty will continue soon. I'll see you then. Have a great day, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.